all want financial freedom, but you might not necessarily know exactly how to achieve it. To achieve financial freedom, I believe, in my opinion, you need ownership. And in today's video, I'm going to give you 6 assets that you should be owning if you want financial freedom. Hi, my name is Adrian, and if this is your first time to the channel, welcome or welcome back. I like to talk money as it relates to everyday life, personal finance, investing, business, and so on and so forth. This is Always Talk Money, and let's get into the video. So first of all, before we start, let's define what an asset is. An asset is something that a person owns that can have financial benefit, usually sometime down the line. It not necessarily now, today, but sometime down the line, it can provide a financial benefit to that person that owns it at current moment. So that's basically what an asset is. So the first asset that you should own if you want to have financial freedom is real estate. Why? Because they're not going to make any more land. The land we have is the land we have. Unless Elon figures out a way to get us to space in the next few years, we on Earth, we have a limited supply of resources when it comes to land. And so if you own real estate, you know that it's an asset class that's never going to go out of style, because you're always going to need people to live, to farm, to do business. Land is very valuable, and it's also very versatile, right? And so if you own real estate, you own an asset that can pay you for years and years and generations to come in your family. Now that can come in form of multifamily real estate, single family real estate. It can come in the form of apartment complexes. It can come in the form of office buildings. It can come in the form of co-working spaces. It can come in the form of owning parking lots around cities and stadiums where people charge a premium to park for sporting and entertainment events. You'd be surprised at how much money people who own parking lots make. That's a piece of land. You put some pavement and white lines on it, and it's just going to be a cash printing machine. Now, the second asset I would want to own is a stock, right? And a stock is basically ownership in a share of a single company. So that could be Tesla, that could be Amazon, that could be Google, aka Alphabet, just to name the big boys in the space, right? So if you own a stock, you basically own a share or portion of that company. And as that company becomes more profitable, you get money in your pockets. It could be in terms of dividend, if that's a dividend paying stock, or it could be in terms of just your investment just increasing in value. That can also be the way that you earn money off of a stock. It doesn't necessarily have to cash flow in terms of dividends, but the asset could gain value over time and through compound interest, might I add, which is super, super great. And it's really, really passive. Once you purchase into that stock, you don't have to really do anything else. You just watch that company grow, expand, keep getting new customers, and watch your asset just blossom and flourish and make you more money. Keep buying more stock and watch your money increase. Now, the third asset that you should own, it's basically like a stock, but it's above a stock in terms of an exchange traded fund or an ETF. And what that means is it's a group of stocks. So instead of just owning Amazon, instead of just owning Google, you can own all of them. You can own shares in all of them. And it's a grouping of stocks, right? That's what an ETF is. And an ETF usually tracks a particular segment of the economy. So if you're into technology, you would buy a technology ETF, and it would contain a bunch of technology companies. If you're into real estate, you could buy a REIT or any type of fund that tracks a bunch of real estate companies, brokers, and so on and so forth. So that's how an ETF works. And why it's above a stock, in my opinion, is because of the diversification. If you buy one stock of Tesla, that's all you own is Tesla. So if Tesla goes up and make a lot of money, then that's great. But if it goes down, you lose a lot of money as well. Whereas if you own an ETF and you have Tesla, Amazon, Google, the big boys. I keep mentioning those because I know most people know those companies. But if Tesla goes down, but you own Google, Amazon, Disney, and everything else, you don't really have to worry about that because your money is protected and being propped up by the other 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 companies that you have in that ETF. And by the way, guys, I have an ETF guide, Winning ETFs, link in the description down below on my website, as well as a free weekly newsletter. If you want to check that out, link in the description down below, as well as just please give me a like on the video and subscribe if you want more videos on personal finance. Thank you very much. The fourth asset that you should own for financial freedom is a business. Owning a business is very, very powerful, but unlike the rest of the assets that I mentioned before in the video, those assets are dependent on how the people who own those assets or started those assets run those assets. Let me explain. If you own an ETF, a stock, or real estate, you're at the mercy of your other partners in that business, right? The CEOs, the other investors, the board members, on how the direction of those companies, those assets go. But when you own a business, it's 100% you. You get to call all the shots. You get to choose the company direction, and that means good or bad. If the company goes up and it's doing well, then it's better on you. But if the company does bad, then it's bad on you. Some people like that level of responsibility. Like me, for instance, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I like having skin in the game. I like knowing that if my business fails, it's all on me, because I love the feeling of the opposite, that if it's successful, it's all on me. So if you want the ultimate control and you want even a bigger share of the pie, because sometimes when you're buying into big companies, big real estate funds, you only have a small portion of the pie, but you could have 100% of the pie if you have a business. And then if that business does really extremely well, that asset could actually make you a millionaire or a billionaire even quicker. Most of the billionaires in the world really get it by being business owners, and then they diversify as they get more wealthy. The fifth asset that you should own for financial freedom in 2023 and beyond is skills, right? You always have to upskill yourself. We see that a lot of people are getting laid off. We see that a lot of people are getting replaced by AI, right? There's actor strikes, writer strikes, a lot of things going on. We see trucking companies going out of business, and that's because the workers and the people in those roles, those skills are deemed replaceable. Now, far be it for me to say whether that's right or wrong. I think if you want to grow a sustainable and fruitful business, you always need people at the forefront, but certain corporations think differently. If you're not getting your skills up all the time, if you're not learning, growing, and just improving yourself at all times, then you are going to be replaced. And so a skill is a valuable asset. Not many people can make YouTube videos. Not many people can edit YouTube videos. Not many people can learn about personal finance but also teach it, right? So those are all different skills. And there's things that you can do that I cannot do, right? No matter how much I try, I could never do the things that you do, right? You can never devalue the value of having good skills. And for the final asset, and speaking of AI and the digital world and the internet age, digital assets. You have to own digital assets. And what I love about digital assets as far as how valuable they can be is the fact that they are passive. Leveraging the power of the internet means you create something one time and then it works for you over and over and over again. And digital assets come in different forms. It doesn't have to be YouTube videos. It could be music. It could be art. It could be educational content in terms of ebooks and books. Owning a digital asset is extremely valuable. So if you have something that you can create and you can put it digitally on the internet, I implore you to explore that, because once you start, you're not going to be really good at it, right? But you keep trying and trying and trying until you get really good. That is the end of the video, guys. Please check the links down below if you want more resources. Please leave a like for the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe. New videos twice weekly on personal finance, business, investing, self-improvement, all that good stuff. And you guys have a great, wonderful rest of your day.